Hi there, viewers and gamers alike out there, and welcome back for another Marvel Spider-Man side quest and info once again. Venom info number 3. So warning, the following of this game is rated T for teen because of the blood, language, and violence. So viewer discretion is advised. This game is not KID friendly. This is 13 and up, and this is Alliance teen if you want to know. So there you have it. So Wolverine and Venom are the two most beloved anti-heroes of all time. Why do I have... These guys never give me a break, do they? So, what makes these two kinda a little different than what you normally expect, huh? Well, since you put it that way, why not I give you the lowdown anyways? So, James Howlett and Eddie Brock have a lot in common. Both have bonded with the Clintar, if you want to know, Clintar, K-L-Y-N-T-A-R, symbiote known as Venom. Both are incredibly popular anti-heroes known for brutal tactics when dispatching evil. Wolverine and Venom have also crossed paths and fought on more than one occasion. However, when looking at their mutual advantages and weaknesses, as well as how those strengths, as well as how, how their strengths is and vulnerabilities apply to their numerous confrontations, a question arises of who is the ultimate anti-hero. So, this can be determined by looking at who wins more often, Wolverine or Venom. So, in the comic section below, as I am going to say this out loud for Venom info side quest number 3 again because I like to go for it. So, their strengths. Wolverine is undoubtedly the more experienced fighter. Logan. Having lived and served in multiple wars, he's a bruiser known for taking on more powerful adversaries and defeating them. He can shred any creature in range with his claws, which he can heat to thousands of degrees Fahrenheit, which is adamantium, an indestructible metal that cannot be broken, if you want to know. And I'm pretty sure Superman might be able to try it, but I'm not so 100% sure. So, there you have it. However, Venom is physically stronger. Wolverine's reinforced adamantium skeleton allows him to effectively lift over 800 pounds. I'm not kidding. 800 pounds. And you can tell that to Hugh Jackman, who done this before in his first stint as X-Men the movie. So there you have it. Hugh Jackman, the Australian actor, which makes him really good. Compared to Venom, who can lift over 50 tons, if you want to know. So that is superhuman. On his own, Eddie Brock can lift around 700 pounds, which makes his base strength comparable to Logan's. The symbiote can also be manipulated to create weaponry or organic venom from his fangs. And now that is something to talk about. So, yes, of claws and webs, if you want to know. The Claws and Web story took place in Marvel Comics presence in comic book numbers 117 to 122, featuring the first major crossover between Venom and Wolverine. Venom seems to believe Wolverine is responsible for what's happening, so they fight! And yes, this kind of creation, how do I say this? They are dragged into what happens to appear the Dream Realm by the villain Nightmare. That's right, the Dream Realm by the villain Nightmare. So Venom seems to believe that Wolverine is responsible for what's happening, so they fight. Venom very quickly pins Wolverine down and overpowers him. Though Wolverine does manage to break free and tosses Venom aside, however, the fight ends fast, which ends pretty fast, when they hear someone screaming. After dealing with some illusion, Venom sucker punches Wolverine and impales him on a tree. Ouch! That has to hurt in the morning, even though with a fast healing factor, he is still alive! And think of it as like Spawn a little bit, which is not Spawn, only he's Wolverine and he does best what he does because it's what he do to make friends with his claws. Like the scene out of Logan from that movie, which is an R-rated movie, which I don't watch. That movie, which has some F-bombing, which I don't enjoy the F-bombing, to be honest. So, no thanks. From there, Venom tortures Logan by tearing his, his what do you call it? His muscles off. So, yeah, that's very Arkham, which you don't want to know. It's just, all I can say is the muscles, okay? Just, let's say, rips more than his clothing off and says, ha ha! Ugh. Venom leaves Wolverine for dead, after which Wolverine gets back up and tackles Venom over a cliff into a raging river and waterfall. At the bottom of the waterfall, Wolverine gets up while Venom is unconscious. So there you have it. I mean, some of the Marvel comic, you think Marvel comic books is Arkham, which it is, to be honest. It's very, very Arkham. Just like the DC comic books of Batman and Superman. And you think the comic books of Marvel is dark, which it is, because it's Arkham. Because the comic books of Wolverine and Venom has its own Arkhamverse that's combined into something. So, Tooth and Claw. Venom, Tooth and Claw is one of the numerous 90s Venom miniseries wherein he fights Marvel characters like the Juggernaut. In Tooth and Claw, Venom and Wolverine are forced to team up to fight a villain named Dirtnap. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's a name of a mutant. And no, he's not a part of the X-Men, but he's a mutant who is a villain. Okay, so there you have it. Who's a villain like Magneto, but I didn't call Magneto a villain, if you want to know. So there you have it. Because so yeah, Dirtnap is a mutant with the ability to assimilate people into himself and take on their forms, kind of like Morph a little bit, or which is only he does it a little different. Dirtnap has absorbed someone precious to both Eddie and Logan, but while Venom just wants to tear Dirtnap apart, Wolverine knows there's a way to save everyone. Because why? Wolverine is smart, for crying out loud. Yeah! Unlike these demons who try to tear me apart by shooting guns at me or weapons, which is not the funny. And this is why, and they don't pay me enough for this. Wow. So why? Confrontations between the pair are brief. Are brief, if you want to know. Brief, since for the most part they are working together. So instead of like best enemies, how about frenemies? Because they have it. Ta-da! Ow. So, they even use their fighting to lure the villains into a false scene of security and attack. Ultimately, the fight goes to neither, since there is no definitive winner. So there you have it. No definitive winner. It's a no contest. Venom and Wolverine have fought multiple times in games, with most never offering a definitive winner, which means it's a deadlock or an impasse or a no contest. So there you have it. No contest. Games like Marvel vs. Capcom or Marvel Nemesis, Rise of the Imperfects, pit the two in fights all the time. If you want to know, it fits in the fights of like all the time. But the winner is mostly a determination of the player's skills. In Spider-Man Web of Shadows, the symbiote overtakes Wolverine, which isn't the same thing as winning a fight, if you want to call it, because you have two choices. Try to get Wolverine to live to get the symbiote off of him, or let go to the dark side as Wolverine wants to be a part of the symbiote in order you try to coax him. I'm not sure whether he says okay or he says wrong answer, bub. Like I'm doing a Wolverine impression by saying wrong answer, bub. I got my own reasons. Talk to the claws. Okay, however, there is like one major exception. In Ultimate Spider-Man, which I did a Let's Play, Venom confronts Wolverine at a bar, while Wolverine is able to throw Venom through a wall and into another building. Ultimately, Venom beats down Wolverine, so Venom wins. So there you have it. It's just a whoop-de-doo. And you thought Logan is gonna win, so no, not so. It just so happens that you don't judge a book by its cover in Ultimate Spider-Man, especially when it goes to in a bar or goes to in a fight club. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to run up the tower, if you want to know. In 2018's Venom Annual #1, Venom and Wolverine get into a bar fight early on Venom's career as a villain. This fight takes place after Claw and Webs, since Wolverine remembers fighting Venom before. Venom barges into a bar looking for Spider-Man, if you want to know, but Wolverine gives him a hard time. The two fight, with Venom keeping Wolverine at bay with large weapons constructed from the symbiote and Wolverine continuously charging at him. With both walk away fairly alright, Venom deals more physical damage to Wolverine. Logan manages to break Venom by shrugging off everything. When I mean everything he did to him, and always coming back for more. Dismissing Venom's grudge against Spider-Man, if you want to know, as childish and absurd. This leaves Venom humiliated and walks off. The victory goes to Wolverine. There you have it. And now number 5. Exit wounds, if you want to know, if this is what you call Wolverine. Exit wounds. The final fight is a brief confrontation in Wolverine Exit Wounds comic book #1. I mean, his comic with featuring with a crossover with Venom. Venom encounters Wolverine in the jungles, and the two of them start to brawl. However, while Venom does have Wolverine on the ropes, Eddie actually gives up halfway through and allows Wolverine to deliver the final strike. Wolverine ultimately wins, but only because Venom surrenders. You see where I'm getting? You see where this is going to your ears? So based on the evidence, the overall winner in a fight between Wolverine and Venom out of these, from the comic books, the games, the miniseries, because some of the miniseries has a dark storyline. Because why? Because everything is Arkham. When I told you that not everything is rainbow ponies and unicorns. The overall winner in a fight between Wolverine and Venom is none other than your get-to-go guy who's not the Marvel serial killer, okay? Because he never was. I'm kind of like one of like the Marvel's gruffy hero who's kind of like, oh, okay, so that's how it works. Is none other than Wolverine. So, yay! Wolvie has won the battle against Venom, and you thought I was done with Venom's info. Not so. Stay down, Lumpy. You're on timeout completely, and you do not collect go, and you do not pass go, and do not collect $200. Thank you for your time. Goodbye. So there you have it. Wolverine has won the ultimate overall victory in a close, narrow bridge gap of 3-2. Wolverine wins, Venom loses, and that's how Venom will remain and always going to be the anti-hero. Because sometimes he usually helps people, and then sometimes he has to do what he has to do best, is to destroy Spider-Man and sometimes team up for any purpose or any temporarily or future reasons, if you want to know. I mean, Venom is kind of like, he's kind of like the jigsaw puzzle. You do not know when he's going to save you or make you or break you, whichever works in that type of order. Wolverine, however, does have that similarity like Venom, of course, but Wolverine, however, is just a tad more smarter than what Venom does. And because, of course, there's one thing that Wolverine is something, because not every reader may not know this in the comic book. Of course, he may look strong, big, and scary, but inside of Wolverine, from where he's at, he has a heart of gold. Because why? He has the heart of a teddy bear. And that is why you do not underestimate the man with the claws, the fast healing factor, Wolverine. And I do believe we are going to stop here for the time being. And don't you worry, I think I'm going to continue to pick up from where we left off for another side quest or info or just a regular side quest for what you call it. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And tell me, what do you guys think of Marvel Spider-Man? Do you like it or hate it? Mash that like button or share this video if you guys love this action-packed game like the Batman games of Arkham. Or what do you think of the comic books of what I told you about the names of Web and Claw and some other stuff, which is pretty amazing if you want to know. I wouldn't call Wolverine as an anti-hero, to be honest. So there you have it. So, as your friendly neighborhood spider cop, and also being autistic is what I do best in my type of day. Taking chances, making mistakes, and getting messy in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember to fight with honor, love, truth, and justice. And see you guys next time for another side quest mission or the main storyline of Marvel's Spider-Man. If you excuse me, there's a crime spree that's going on for so long in the city of New York right here. I've got a busy schedule to keep.